So hello students. So today we will be discussing the question and answers of the previous test. Okay. So the first question is, what is the most important condition for rusting to occur? Okay. So this is the first question. So if you recall our previous classes, okay. So there also where we have discussed about rusting. If you look carefully, you will see that I have mentioned that for the rusting to occur, the most important condition is that water and oxygen should come in contact with the iron at the same time. Okay, or you can also write that moist air should come in contact with the iron surface. Okay. So that means for rusting to occur, we need water and oxygen. Yes, and they should react at the same time with the iron. Okay, and when water and oxygen will react at the same time, when water and oxygen will both come in contact with the iron at the same time. So the most important condition for rusting is that iron should come in contact with water and oxygen in the air at the same time. Okay, so this is the first condition. Okay, so either you can write that water and oxygen should come in contact with the iron at the same time, or you can also write that moist air should come in contact with the iron. Okay, so in these two way you can write the answer of this first question. Okay, now question number 2, which of the following will not prevent rusting? Okay, so if again you recall the same video class, there also I have mentioned that oiling, greasing, or applying a coat of metal like chromium, nickel or zinc, chromium, nickel or zinc, these three metals do not undergo rusting. Okay, so oiling and greasing also prevent rusting. So therefore option 1 oiling, option 2 greasing, and option 4 applying a coat of chromium metal will prevent rusting. But our question is that which of the following will not prevent rusting? So the answer is applying a coat of sodium metal. Okay, so sodium metal, applying a coat of sodium metal will not prevent rusting. Okay, now question 3, photosynthesis is an example of physical sense, chemical sense, both physical and chemical sense, or none of the above. So when we discussed about the types of changes, that is physical sense and chemical sense, and when we particularly discussed about chemical sense, we said that chemical sense are permanent, they are irreversible, yes, and a new product or a new substance is formed when there is a chemical sense. Okay, so during photosynthesis what happens, plant make their food. Okay, food, and what is food? Starch, or you can say the food of the plant is glucose, C6H12O6. So plants make their own food from carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight. Yes, so what plants do? Plants will take carbon dioxide from air and water and other nutrients from the ground or from the soil through the roots, and they will make their own food. Yes, where? In their leaves, in the presence of sunlight. So that means a new substance is produced from carbon dioxide and water. So that means we can say that photosynthesis is a chemical sense. Yes, because earlier we had carbon dioxide and water, and after photosynthesis occurs, the plants get their food. Okay, so that means a new substance is produced, and once the glucose or the food, which is the food for the plant, is glucose or starch. So once that starch is produced, you cannot again get back the carbon dioxide and water from it. Okay, so therefore photosynthesis is an example of chemical change. Okay, so number 4, salt solution when kept in sunlight for few hours we get common salt. So what is the name of the process and what kind of change is taking place? So if you put salt solution in sunlight for few days or few hours, you will see that slowly and slowly water will evaporate. Okay, so and you will see that after this salt solution is kept in sunlight for many hours or even few days, you will see that water will evaporate and it will dry up and only salt will be present in the vessel. Okay, so that means whole the water will slowly and slowly it will evaporate and only salt will leave behind. Okay, so this process is known as evaporation. Okay, and this is a physical change. Okay, so salt solution when kept in sunlight, the salt solution contains both water and salt. So in presence of sunlight, water will slowly and slowly evaporate. Okay, and what will leave behind? The salt will leave behind. Okay, and this process is known as evaporation, and this is a physical change. Why physical change? The water that evaporates, this water can again be condensed. Okay, so that water evaporates means water was liquid, and when it evaporates it become water vapor. Okay, and if we cool the water vapor again, we'll get back the water. Okay, so this is a physical change and the process is known as evaporation. Okay, so this particular question is also mentioned in the exercises as a value based question. Okay, so when we discussed the question from the exercises, there also I have given the answer of this question. Okay, so if you look carefully in the video where we have discussed the question answers given in your exercise, there also if you look at the value based question, you will find this question and also the answers. Okay, so number 5, crystallization is a physical change, true or false? So answer is true. Okay, so crystallization is a physical change. Which of these metal does not prevent rusting? So look at the question carefully. Okay, so which of these metal does not prevent rusting? Not which of these prevent rusting, it is does not prevent rusting. So we know chromium, zinc and nickel, they prevent rusting. So answer is copper. Copper will not prevent rusting. Okay, so look at the question first, then you give the answer. We know that chromium, zinc and nickel prevent rusting, but copper does not. Okay, now question number 7. So lime water is a solution of dash in water. Okay, so you have to fill in the blanks. So lime water is a solution of calcium hydroxide. Okay, calcium hydroxide in water. Calcium hydroxide. Okay, so lime water is a solution of calcium hydroxide in water. Okay, so question number 8. So this is again from the activity that is present in your book. When a colorless gas is bubbled through lime water, the lime water turns milky. Yes, so we have discussed while discussing the activities. So when a colorless gas is bubbled through lime water, we see that lime water turns milky. Now, why lime water turns milky? Lime water turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate. Okay, so not calcium hydroxide here, it is calcium carbonate. So lime water turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate. And what gas turns lime water milky? Carbon dioxide. So your answer is calcium carbonate. So in the first fill in the blank you have to write lime water turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate and the colorless gas is carbon dioxide. Okay. Number 9. Which of these is not a property of the change related to digestion of food? So digestion of food is a chemical change. Okay. So digestion of food is a chemical change. So we have to see that which of these is not a property of chemical change. So we know that chemical change is permanent, so this cannot be the answer. We know that chemical change is irreversible, but here the option is it is reversible. So this can this can be one of the answer, and these questions have two answer. One can be it is reversible, and the other can be no change in composition. Okay, so both are correct. If you write it is reversible, then also it is correct, because chemical change is not reversible, so this cannot be a property of digestion of food. Again, we know that during a chemical change there is change in composition. Okay, and since digestion of food is a chemical change, so change in composition is a property of digestion of food, but no change in composition is not a property of digestion of food. Okay, so it is reversible and no change in composition, so this both can be the answer. Okay, so the thing is that you have to know first that digestion of food is a chemical change, and then you have to see that which of the given options is not a property of chemical change. Okay, why do we see a change in color when an iron nail is added to copper sulfate solution? We see a change in color when an iron nail is added to copper sulfate solution because there will be reaction between the iron present in the nail and the copper sulfate. Okay, and in that reaction what will happen? Iron will displace, yes, iron will displace the copper in the copper sulfate to form iron sulfate. Okay, and iron sulfate is green in color. Okay, so you can simply write due to the formation of iron sulfate, which is green in color. Okay, so that much we have to write. Okay, so this answer again is very easy. You can simply write due to the formation of iron sulfate, which is green in color. Okay, and if you want to elaborate, if you want to write the answer in more details, then you can write that there will be a reaction between the iron present in the nail and the copper sulfate, and due to which iron sulfate will be formed, which is green in color. Okay, now question number 11. A student burns magnesium ribbon and then collect white residue and put it in water. Name the product formed and what is the nature. Okay, so when magnesium ribbon is burnt and we get a white residue, and what is that white residue? That white residue is magnesium oxide. Okay, so what the student is doing, he is burning the magnesium ribbon and then he is collecting the white residue. That means he is burning the magnesium ribbon and then he is collecting the magnesium oxide. Okay, and then he is putting that magnesium oxide in water. So when magnesium oxide is put in water, what is formed? Magnesium hydroxide is formed. Okay, magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is formed. Okay, so once magnesium oxide, that is the white residue, is put in water, we get magnesium hydroxide. Yes, and I have already told you that any metal oxide or any metal hydroxide is always basic. Okay, so magnesium is a metal and magnesium hydroxide is a metal hydroxide, so it will be always basic. So your answer is this. Okay, so when we will burn a magnesium ribbon, we will get a white powder, that is white powder or white residue, which is magnesium oxide, and when this white magnesium oxide is put in water, we get magnesium hydroxide, and the nature of magnesium hydroxide is basic. Okay, now number 12. So magnetization of steel is a physical process. Okay, so during our discussion of physical change also I have mentioned that magnetization of iron or magnetization of steel is a physical change,
but formation of steel is a chemical change. Why formation of steel is a chemical change? Because during the formation of steel, what is done? We need molten iron, and in that molten iron we put carbon, chromium and nickel. Okay, and once this steel is formed, you cannot again get back the iron separately, carbon separately, or chromium and nickel separately. You cannot separate them out. Okay, so once the steel is formed, then you cannot separate the individual component. You cannot separate iron from it, carbon from it. Okay, so that means once the steel is formed, that change is irreversible, that is a permanent change, and due to this, formation of steel is a chemical change. Okay, so magnetization of steel is a physical change and formation of steel is a chemical change. So the answer is number 3. Now question number 13. A reddish deposit formed on an iron nail when placed in copper sulfate solution is of. So in the reaction between the iron nail and the copper sulfate solution, what we will see, that the iron in the nail will react with the copper sulfate to form iron sulfate. Yes, and what the iron will do? The iron will displace the copper. That means the iron will remove the copper from copper sulfate to form iron sulfate. That means iron will remove the copper from the copper sulfate solution. Okay, and iron will itself make a compound with the sulfate and will form a new compound which is known as iron sulfate. Now where will the copper go? So copper will go and it will deposit on the outer surface of the nail. Okay, so if you look here carefully, so what happens? This iron and this is copper sulfate. Okay, so this iron will go and attack here and it will remove the copper. Okay, so once the copper is removed, we get iron and sulfate together form iron sulfate. The formula is FeSO4. Okay, so now you see that from copper sulfate, copper is removed. So where will the copper go? This copper will deposit on the outer surface of this nail. Okay, if this is the nail, then this copper will deposit here. Okay, the surface of the nail, and the color will be reddish. Okay, and this reddish deposit on the surface of the iron nail is of copper metal. Okay, so this also I have discussed during the class. Okay, now number 14. Identify both physical and chemical changes which takes place when a candle is lighted. So this question is exactly given from the question present in your exercise. Okay, so while burning a when burning a candle, we see that the wax that is present in the candle, it melts. Okay, so the melting of wax is a physical change, and some of the wax that is present at the surface or at the top near to the flame, it will burn. Yes, slowly it will burn, and when this wax in the candle along with the thread which is also present in the candle, when it burns, it will produce smoke. Yes, some gases like carbon dioxide. Okay, and this burning of the candle along with some of the wax and the thread, this is a chemical change. Okay, so that much we have to write, and also already I have given the answer of this question when we have discussed this question during the discussion of question answers in the exercise. Okay, so the last question, what is crystallization? Okay, so this I think I need not give you the answer of this because I have already given you the answer of this during the class, also during the doubt solving classes. Okay, so what is crystallization? So crystallization is the process of purifying or to get pure crystals of a substance from its impure hot saturated solution. Okay, so if you have a substance, then we have to make its hot saturated solution, and when you cool that hot saturated solution, we will get pure crystals of the substance, and this process is known as crystallization. Okay, so these were the answers. Okay, so please note down the questions and also their correct answers, and also try to solve these question answers at your home once again. Okay, because such question answers will be helpful for your exam also. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Thank you.